If you keep doing exactly what you're doing today, with the same financial habits, the same decisions, and the same mindset, where will you be 5 years from now? That question is supposed to scare you, because it should. Here's the truth. If you don't change, nothing changes. And if you're not wealthy a few years from now, the harsh reality is, it might be your own fault. But the good news, it's not too late to turn things around. In this video, I'm going to break down 10 habits and beliefs that are keeping you stuck in financial mediocrity, and more importantly, how to break free from them starting right now. After studying the financial behavior of thousands of people and identifying the patterns of those who actually built wealth, one thing became crystal clear to me. Getting rich is more about behavior than it is about income. And today, you're going to understand why. Do you feel like you're always chasing money, but never really getting ahead? The paycheck hits your account, then the bills hit right back, and by the end of the month, you've got more month left than money. You're not alone. Millions of people live this exact same cycle every single day. They work hard, pay the bills, try to save what they can, and yet they stay stuck financially. And here's the dangerous part. Most people think this is just how life works, that the constant struggle is just part of being an adult. But it's not. The truth is, this survival mode comes from the wrong habits, automatic decisions, and most of all, a mindset that was programmed to limit you, not to help you grow. From a young age, we're taught to seek security, not freedom. To spend money to look successful instead of investing to be successful. To believe that rich people just got lucky or did something shady. But that way of thinking, it's keeping you stuck. The best part is, none of this is permanent. Because in the next few minutes, you're going to see that the people who build real wealth aren't born with superpowers. They just follow simple, powerful, and consistent principles. Now that you know what the problem is, it's time we talk about the solution. Over the next few minutes, you're going to discover 10 behaviors that stop most people from ever building real wealth. And if you don't fix them now, they'll keep you stuck in the same place for years to come. These aren't complicated secrets or some kind of magic formula. They're common, silent mistakes, the kind almost everyone makes without realizing it. But once you understand them, you'll be able to pinpoint exactly where you're going wrong, and more importantly, what needs to change. And the best part, you can start making those changes today. So let's get straight to it. Here's the first reason your wealth might be stuck. Too many people keep putting off their plans, waiting for the right moment. But here's the truth. The perfect moment doesn't exist. If you're waiting until you have extra money, the economy improves, or life slows down a bit, you could end up waiting for years, or even your whole life. Meanwhile, the people who take action with what they do have, even if it's just a little, start seeing results. Let me give you an example. Some people wait until they have $1,000 to invest, but the person who starts with just $10 today is already 100 steps ahead, because they've started the habit, and they're already earning the interest of time. Action today is worth more than intention tomorrow. So stop waiting. Start with what you have. Use the knowledge you already know. Invest the little money you managed to save this month. Because the real difference between people who build wealth and those who just dream about it is simple. Action, not perfection. And speaking of action, here's another mistake that silently paralyzes a lot of people. If you're spending hours a day scrolling through social media, watching random videos, but you can't set aside even 15 minutes to learn about money, you're sabotaging your own future. The truth is, your mind is like a muscle. It grows stronger based on what you feed it. And if you're not feeding it financial education, you're weakening your ability to build wealth. You don't need to become an economist, but you do need to become someone who understands how money works and how to make it work for you. These days, with podcasts, free videos, and affordable books everywhere, there's no excuse for being financially clueless. Set aside a few minutes every day, even just 10, to learn about investing, side hustles, budgeting, or money mindset. Because the more you learn, the better decisions you'll make. And speaking of bad decisions, let's talk about one of the most common and most damaging financial mistakes: spending first and investing what's left. Here's the problem with that. There's never anything left. There's always a sale, a food delivery, a small expense that turns into a budget killer. Rich people do the opposite. They invest first and live on what's left. They treat investing like a non-negotiable bill, just like rent or electricity. Want to change that starting today? Set up an automatic transfer for a fixed amount, even if it's just $50 or $100, to leave your account the moment your paycheck hits. Make it automatic so you don't rely on willpower. Over time, this becomes a habit, and the right financial habits build freedom. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful wealth-building keys: having more than one source of income. Depending on just your salary is like walking a tightrope with no safety net. Lose your job or face an emergency, and your entire financial balance goes down with it. Wealthy people know that real stability comes from multiple income streams. Starting a side hustle, owning investments that pay dividends, or building passive income, that's what protects you and speeds up your path to financial freedom. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as selling a skill you have, monetizing a hobby, or investing in dividend-paying funds. The key is to start thinking about how you can create that extra layer of security. And that mindset shift is essential if you want to change your financial future. Now let's move on to a limiting belief that holds way too many people back: the idea that getting rich is all about luck. A lot of people believe that getting rich is just about luck, or that it only happens to those who won the lottery of life. That mindset is a trap, because it makes you wait for something external to change your life and keeps you stuck in place. The truth is, wealth comes from discipline, consistency, and smart decisions over time. Nobody who built real, lasting wealth did it by getting lucky or stumbling into success. They followed simple systems, stuck to routines, and learned how to use time to their advantage. If you keep relying on luck, you're giving up control over your future. Change that today. You are the main driver of your financial life. And once you take ownership, you'll see just how powerful time can be when it comes to money. That's where compound interest comes in. Compound interest is one of the most powerful tools for building long-term wealth, but most people either ignore it or don't fully understand how it works. Here's the basic idea. You invest a certain amount and it earns interest. Then the next period, you earn interest not just on your original money, but on the interest you already earned. Over time, that effect snowballs. For example, investing just $300 a month with a 10% annual return can turn into tens of thousands in a decade. The key: start early and stay consistent. Even small amounts invested regularly can lead to huge results. If you're not taking advantage of this, you're leaving money on the table, and even worse, time is working against you. Now let's talk about something that blocks so many people without them even realizing it: limiting beliefs about money. A lot of us carry negative beliefs like, money is evil, rich people are dishonest, or I don't deserve to be wealthy. These thoughts act like invisible walls that hold you back from reaching your full potential. If deep down you believe that money causes problems, you'll unconsciously avoid the very opportunities that could make you wealthy. Most of these beliefs were planted in us when we were young, by family, culture, or past experiences. But here's the good news: you can change those beliefs. The first step is to recognize the limiting thoughts you're carrying. Then actively replace them with positive, abundance-focused beliefs. Because when your mindset changes, your financial behavior changes, and that's when your results start to shift. Now let's talk about one of the most underrated skills in wealth building: the art of selling. Selling is one of the most important skills for anyone who wants to build wealth. But it's not just about selling products. It's about selling ideas, services, and even yourself. Every millionaire knows how to position themselves, persuade others, and create value. If you don't develop this skill, you're putting a ceiling on your financial growth. Selling isn't manipulation, it's communicating value. And if you don't know how to sell yet, start small. Practice convincing your friends, learn basic sales techniques, and get comfortable showing people what you're good at. This is one of the keys to unlocking new opportunities, closing deals, and increasing your income streams. Now let's talk about another wealth killer that most people fall into without noticing: The need to impress others. One of the biggest thieves of your wealth is the constant urge to show off. The new car, the latest iPhone, the designer clothes, all that might be eating up money you could be investing. People who try to look rich rarely become rich. Chasing appearances leads to constant pressure to overspend, and that keeps you stuck. Truly wealthy people focus on building assets, not showing off. Start valuing what really matters: security, freedom, and long-term growth. Cut out unnecessary expenses and put your money and energy into things that grow your net worth. And to wrap this up, let's talk about the final, and maybe most important, mistake: not thinking long-term. If you want to get rich for real, you have to play the long game. Most people want fast results, and they quit when they don't see instant success. But real wealth isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Short-term thinking makes you spend everything, chase shortcuts, and give up too soon. Wealthy people think 5, 10, even 20 years ahead, because they know that time is money's greatest ally. If you build a financial plan and stick to it, even with small steps, your wealth will grow steadily. The long-term game takes patience, discipline, and resilience. But it's the only path that leads to true financial freedom. And now that you know the mistakes holding you back, it's time to take action. The truth is simple. It's not about how much you make, it's about what you do with what you have. If you keep the same habits, your financial situation won't change. You can work as hard as you want, but without strategy and discipline, your money will slip right through your fingers. What separates those who thrive from those who just survive is a daily commitment to small, consistent changes. Every decision matters: what you spend, where you invest, what you learn, and how you think. And remember, no one's going to do this for you. The responsibility for your financial freedom is in your hands. But here's the good news. You don't have to start from scratch. You just have to identify what's holding you back today and do the opposite tomorrow. Every small step counts, because it's the compounding effect of those steps that creates massive results. Don't get discouraged by your past. Your future depends on what you do today. You have the power to change your financial life, and that change starts right now. If these tips opened your eyes, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And subscribe so you don't miss the next videos that will transform your money mindset. Now I want to hear from you. Which one of these 10 mistakes hit you the hardest? Drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. And share this video with a friend or family member who needs a financial wake-up call. Let's build a community that grows together and gets wealthy for real.